Good morning students, welcome back to English class. We were in this lesson number 4. The name of the lesson is Rat Trap. We have completed 3 pages. Now we will continue the same lesson. I am going to read out the next paragraph which we are going to begin today. Here it goes. All the time where there are many sounds to be heard in the forge, the big bellows groaned, the burning coal cracked, the fireboy shoveled charcoal into the mouth of the furnace with a great deal of clatter. Outside roared the waterfall, and a sharp north wind whipped the rain against the brick-tiled roof. Bellows means air bag that emits a stream of air used for blowing air into a fire. Shovel means move, mow means jaws, clatter means bang, whipped means beaten with a whip here to hit something. So in this paragraph it says one could hear different types of sounds in the forge. There was a big bellow which was blowing in the air in the fire with a great sound. One could also hear the bang of the charcoal which was being shoveled by the fireboy. The sounds which were coming from outside the mill, these were of the waterfall and the high speed north wind which hit the raindrops against the brick tiled roof. And next paragraph. It was probably on account of all this noise, the blacksmith did not notice that a man had opened the gate and entered the forge until he stood close up to the furnace. Here, I am going to explain this paragraph. It says that it is due to these different types of sounds that the blacksmith did not realize that a man had opened the gate of the forge and had entered till he came and stood near the furnace. Next paragraph. Surely it was nothing unusual for poor vagabonds without any better shelter for the night to be attracted to the forge by the glow of light which escaped through the sooty pans and to come in warm themselves in front of the fire. The blacksmith glanced only casually and indifferently at the intruder. He looked the way people of his type usually did, with a long beard, dirty rag, and with a bunch of the rat traps dangling on his chest. Sooty pans means window pans covered in soot, black powder produced when coal, wood or etc. is burnt. In this paragraph, it says that many homeless people used to get attracted to the lights of the forge, which peeked through the window pans, which were covered with the black powder of burnt coal. They would seek shelter there. They would warm themselves with the help of the burning fire. As the blacksmith were accustomed to visitors, they were indifferent to the man. They just looked at him. The rat trap seller's appearance was similar to that of other wanderers. He had a long beard, was dirty, worn clothes, and had a bunch of rat traps hanging from his chest. Next paragraph. He asked permission to stay, and the master blacksmith nodded her hearty consent without honoring him with a single word. Haughty means arrogant. The other says that the peddler tried to seek permission from the blacksmith so that he could stay in the forge for a night, and he allowed the peddler with an arrogant consent by just nodding and did not say a single word to him. The tramp did not say anything either. He had not come there to talk but only to warm himself and sleep. In those days, Ramshaw Iron Mill was owned by a very prominent iron master, whose greatest ambition was to ship out good iron to the market. He watched both night and day to see the work was done as well as possible. And at this moment he came into the fort on one of his nightly rounds of inspection. Prominent means what? Important. Tramp, vagabond or wanderer. In this paragraph, the author wants to explain us that peddlers also said nothing because his main aim was to warm himself and sleep. The owner of the Ramjog iron mill in those days was very ambitious person whose aim was to sell only the finest iron into the market. Therefore, he used to keep a check on the workers both during night and the day. The owner was on a night inspection visit when the peddler entered the fort. Naturally, the first thing he saw was the ragamuffin who had eased his way so close to the furnace that steam rose from his wet rags. The ironmaster did not follow the example of the blacksmith, who had hardly deigned to look at the stranger. He walked close up to him, looked him over very carefully, then tore off his slouch hat to get a better view of his face. Ragamuffin means what? A person in rags. Jane means what? Something that one considered to be beneath one's dignity. Slouch hat means hat bent on one side of the head. This paragraph says that unlike the blacksmith, the ironmaster at once noticed that the peddler who was sitting so close to the furnace that steam was coming out of his torn clothes, he not only went near him but also removed the wanderer's hat that was bent to one side so that he could see the man's face clearly. But of course, it is you, Nils Olof, he said. How do you look? The man with rat traps had never before seen Ironmaster at Ramjo and did not even know what his name was. But it occurred to himself that if the fine gentleman thought he was an old acquaintance, he might perhaps throw him a couple of corner. Therefore, he did not want to undeceive him at all, at him all at once. Acquaintance means what? Associate or familiar. Undeceived, to tell something that his belief is mistaken. In this paragraph, it says like when the ironmaster took off his peddler's hat, he mistook him as an old acquaintance, Niels Olof, and uh, these the peddler did not know him or nor had seen this man before, but he thought that if the man mistook him as his old companion and gave him some money out of pity, then it would be a good thing. But therefore, he did not let him know that he had mistaken him as what? Niels Olof. Yes, God knows. Things have gone downhill with me, he said. You should not have resigned from the regiment, said the ironmaster. That was the mistake. If only I had still been in the service at the time. It never would have happened. Well, now of course you will come home with me. So, what did this downhill here means what? Worst. And regiment means what? Unit in the army or the defense forces. So, in this it says that the peddler started a conversation with the ironmaster by saying that the things didn't went well with him. To this, ironmaster replied that he had made a big mistake by leaving the regiment. He also added that if he would have been working in the regiment when he resigned, he would have let him do so. Later, he invited him to his home. Next paragraph, you will see. To go along with to the manor house, he received by the owner like an old regimental comrade. That, however, did not please the tramp. No, I couldn't think of it, he said, looking quite alarmed. He thought of the 30 corner. To go up to the manor house would be like throwing himself voluntarily into the lion's den. He only wanted a chance to sleep here in the fort and then sneak away as inconspicuously as possible. Manor house means a large country house. Comrade means what? A fellow soldier. Alarm means what? Frightened. Inconspicuously means what? Invisible or which is not noticeable. In this paragraph, it says that this rat seller did not find to be very good idea to visit the ironmaster's place. He was frightened with the idea of visiting to the large house of an old soldier, which according to him was not safe. After all, he had the stolen money with him. He did not want to put himself in danger. His intention were to sleep in the forge and then go away from there without being noticed. The ironmaster assumed that he felt embarrassed because of his miserable clothing. Please don't think that I have a such fine home that you cannot show yourself here, he said. Elizabeth is dead, as you may already have heard. My boys are abroad, and there is no one at home except my oldest daughter and myself. We were just saying that it was too bad we didn't have any company for Christmas. Now come along with me and help us make the Christmas food disappear a little faster. The paragraph says that like that the handmaster was aware of his friend's miserable condition, so he tried to make him comfortable by saying that he should feel free to come his home as his home was an ordinary one. He told him that his wife was not no more and added that he must be aware of this. And then he let him know that both of his sons were settled abroad. Only he and his daughter were left at home. He invited him to celebrate Christmas with his family, so he and his daughter may have some good company at the Christmas feast. But the stranger said no, and again no, and the ironmaster saw that he must give in. It looks as though Captain von Staffel prefers to stay with you tonight. Stephen Storm, he said to the master blacksmith and turned on his heel. This paragraph says that though the ironmaster made him many attempts to invite him, but the peddler did not accept his invitation. So at last he says to the blacksmith that it seemed to that Captain von Stahel, peddler, wanted to stay with him in the forge. But he laughed to himself as he went away, and the blacksmith, who knew him, understood very well that he had not said his last word. What happened after this? Then he laughed and went away, but the blacksmith knew that he was hiding something. It was not more than half an hour before they heard the sound of a carriage wheels outside the forge, and a new guest came in. But this time it was not the ironmaster. He had sent his daughter apparently, and hoping that she would have better powers of persuasion than himself. So in this paragraph, it says like that after a gap of half an hour, the ironmaster sent his daughter. He hoped that his daughter may bring his friend home, as he believed that she was better in pursuing others. She entered, followed by a valet carrying on his arm a big fur coat. She was not at all pretty, but seemed modest and quite shy. In the forge, everything was just as it had been earlier in the evening. The master blacksmith and his appearance still sat on their bench and iron, and the charcoal still glowed in the furnace. The stranger had stretched himself out on the floor and lay with a piece of pig iron under his head and his hat pulled down over his eyes. As soon as the young girl caught sight of him, he went up and lifted his hat. The man was evidently used to sleeping with one eye open. He jumped up abruptly and seemed to quite frightened. Volunteer means what? Personal attendant. Mm, uh, Your modest means humble. Apprentice means what? Learner. Your the This paragraph says that the ironmaster's daughter entered the mill with her attendant who was carrying a big fur coat, and she was very humble girl and she was very shy, and when she entered everyone was busy with the same way as they had seen her had been earlier. The blacksmith was still sitting on the bench with his trainees and was working on the iron. She went up to the peddler and lifted his hat, and the peddler slept with one eye open as soon as he saw her. He got shocked and jumped up. Next paragraph. My name is Edla Wilmanson, said the young girl. My father came home and said that you wanted to sleep here in the forest tonight. Then I asked permission to come and bring you home to us. I'm so sorry, Captain, that you are having such a hard time. Here she introduces herself as Edla Williamson and was very sorry to hear about the hard times that he was facing. And she explained to him and she had come to take him home with her father's permission. She looked at him compassionately with her heavy eyes, and then she noticed that the man was afraid. Either he has stolen something or else he has escaped from jail, she thought, and added quickly, "You may be sure, Captain, that you will be allowed to leave us leave us just as freely as you come. Only please stay with us over Christmas Eve." Compassionately means what? Showing sympathy for others. Here Edla had a sympathy for this peddler, and then she noticed that the reason behind his fear could be either he had committed robbery or jailbreak. So she had said that he was free to leave their house at any time, but she wanted him to stay with the family just for Christmas Eve. She said this in such a friendly manner that the rat trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss, he said. I will come at once. Edla was taking to the peddler in a very nice way, which made him believe her, and he got ready to go with her. He accepted the fur coat which the wallet handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his rags, and followed the young lady out to be the carriage without granting the astonished blacksmith so much as a glance. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil foreboding. Astonished means what? Greatly surprised. Foreboding means foretelling. Your peddler wore this fur coat offered by the wallet and started following the lady. He did not even bother to notice the other people in the room. On the way to the house, the peddler felt that as he had committed a crime, he would be punished for it. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? He thought. Now I am sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. He started what he was thinking that, and he started cursing himself that if he had stolen the money and he would not have got a trap like this. The money was a bite which had led him into this trap. Next day was Christmas Eve. The When the ironmaster came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought the satisfactions of his old regimental comrade who had run across so unexpectedly. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. Then we must see that he gets something else to do, uh, than to run around the country selling rat traps. Here, flesh on his bones means the seller should eat good food to gain some flesh on his body. And in this paragraph, it says that the next day I was the Christmas Eve, and both the ironmaster and his daughter were at the dining table. And this ironmaster said to his daughter that they had to do something good for the peddler, and they should try to find some better job for him. It is cure that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been educated man. You must have patience, my little girl, said the father. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. Last night he was naturally embarrassed. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. Queer means what? Very strange. Embarrassed means awkward and shy. Your the ironmaster says that ironmaster's daughter said that it was strange to see that the peddler had been in such hard times and was very doubtful whether the man had been educated. Hearing this, ironmaster clarified that it was due to his bad condition. He also added that the man would behave differently after getting clean and dressed up. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. The valet had bathed him, cut his hair, and shaved him. Moreover, he was dressed in a very good looking suit of clothes which belonged to the ironmaster. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. Starch collar means what? Starch is the stuff that makes your shirt collar look very crisp and fresh. Whole shoes means what? Proper fitted shoes. What happened after that? While both father and daughter were discussing about the peddler, this man, he entered the room with the wallet, and he was looking very clean, and as he had bath, and his hair had cut by the servant, and he was wearing the ironmaster's clothes and shoes, and a shirt with a starched collar and shoes which covered the entire feet. But although his guest was now well groomed, the ironmaster did not seem pleased. He looked at him and with a puckered brow, and it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. But that now, when he stood there in a broad daylight, it was impossible to make him for an old acquaintance. What does this mean? He thundered. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. Here, groomed means what? Ready. Puckered means what? Wrinkle. Dissimulate means what? Pretend. Splendor means luxury. Thunder means what? Make a loud noise. In this paragraph it says that the ironmaster seemed very hankering to see his well groomed guest, as now he could make out his appearance well and realized that he was not his comrade. He understood that he mistook some stranger as his old friend. He screamed at him and asked him to explain. The peddler knew that the ironmaster could make out that he was not his old friend. As he already knew this, he was ready for the consequences and felt that the luxurious treatment was about to end. It is not my fault, sir, he said. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader. I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge, but no harm has been done. At worst, I can put on my rags again and go away. Well, said the ironmaster, hesitating a little. It was not quite honest either. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. Hesitating means what, to be reluctant, and what sheriff means what, the chief executive officer of the crown in England. In this paragraph it says like that the peddler tried to explain that he should not be blamed. He said that he was begging for a stay in the forge, but he also said that he had not harmed anyone and was ready to wear his rags again. To this the ironmaster hesitated and said that peddler had not been quite honest, and so he wanted to call the sheriff. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. Now I am going to tell you, Mr. Ironmaster, how things are, he said. This whole world is nothing but a big trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but a cheese, rings, and bits of pork, set out to drag a poor fellow into the trouble. Uh, if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork, and then you will get caught in the trap. Fist means what, person's hand bent. And in this paragraph it says like that this rat trap seller gets so engaged upon hearing about this sheriff that he struck the table very hard with his fist. He said that this world is a big rat trap, and all the things are a bite, just like the rings of cheese and the small pieces of pork are a bite for the rat which are offered to trap it. Not only this, he also pointed out to the ironmaster that he may not today be imprisoned by the sheriff, but one day the ironmaster will also get trapped like this. The ironmaster began to laugh. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve, but now get out of here as fast as you can. So what happened here? The ironmaster did not like the peddler's words and decided to call the sheriff, and he asked the peddler to leave at once. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. And with that, he went and closed the door. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. The daughter stood there, quite embarrassed, and hardly knew what to answer. That morning she had felt so happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. She could not get away from the idea all at once. That was why she had interceded for the vagabond. Your wretch means what, miserable person. Interceded means what, intervened. The ironmaster's daughter stopped the peddler, and she wanted to have the poor fellow. Since morning she was planning how she could make the peddler happy on the occasions of Christmas. Therefore she went against her father's will and stopped him by the closing the door. I am thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. Whenever he turns, he is chased away. Always he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. I should like to have him enjoy a piece of day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. And the ironmaster mumbled something in his beard. He could not bring himself to oppose her. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. But anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. She here in this paragraph she tried to explain the difficulties faced by the peddler, and she said that he did not have any house, and she was turned out from whatever whenever he went, and he always kept on running in order to save guard himself from being arrested. She said that she wanted him to enjoy Christmas with peace as they had promised him. They should not send away a man on Christmas, the man whom they had promised happiness on the day. Then the ironmaster was not able to find an answer to go against his daughter. You do, Anna Parson, said the ironmaster. I only hope you won't have to regret this. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him to the table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given him. Preach means what? Advice. Parson means what? Churchman. What the in this paragraph says like that the only thing they could say to his daughter was that she was trying good at convincing others better than the priest at the church. But he also warned her that hopefully her decision would not bring any adverse effect on them. The girl took the peddler to the table and offered him food. She saw that her father had consented to her wish. The man with the rat trap said not a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. Time after time he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. And why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? The peddler, in this paragraph, the peddler was very much shocked to see that. The peddler did not say any word and started eating. Though he was doubtful about her intentions and also was wondering why she stopped him. After that evening, Christmas Eve at Rancho passed just as it always had. The stranger did not cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. The whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of the guest rooms and slept at one stretch. At noon they woke up him so that he could have his share of the Christmas fare, but after that he slept again. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely at here as Ransom. In this paragraph, the did not peddler went to sleep after having food, and he did not cause any harm to anyone, and he laid down on the sofa in the guest house, and he was once woken up in the afternoon, but after having his lunch he again went to sleep. It was like as he had never got the chance to sleep so peacefully as he had got at this place. So we will continue the same lesson next class also. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and go through the lessons properly. And till then, bye.